Hi there, it's Jen, and it is Friday, December 22nd, only a few days left till Christmas. I'm here live with you, and I'm going to make a card from start to finish. But what I like to do first is I like to do a draw for the card that I made the week before. So let me just pull this out here. The card I made the week before, let's do this one, is this one. With some pretty coloring on the side, really simple card. And how I do the draw is anyone who commented, liked, or shared is automatically in on my draw. So I have a screen here with the draw all set up. So like I said, if you comment, liked, and shared, you're automatically in this draw. And as long as you're Canadian, oops, and not a demonstrator, oh dear, hold on a second. Let me just pop back here. I'll just zoom in on the card for a second while I fix what seems to be wrong here. I just had to log back into Facebook, I guess. So give me 1 second. So if you're new here, welcome. If you need a catalog, welcome. I'm actually showing here 2 catalogs, the Sale-a-bration catalog and the mini catalog. Both of these start in January. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like one, just let me know and I'm happy to get you that. So let me just try this one more time here to see if we can get the comments set up. Sorry, I normally have this set up ahead of time, but something didn't go quite right. Hold on. I'm going to find last week's live. And here we go on the 15th. Let's see if we can get here. Okay, look good. Looks like the comments are showing. So let me try one more time to share the screen. Thanks for being patient with me. And here we go. Like I said, as long as you're Canadian and not a demonstrator, you can win this card. And obviously not me either. Christine, you fit that bill. So, and I believe I have your current address too. So Christine, congratulations. I'm going to get that card in the mail to you. And there you go. So to get in on this week's draw, all you have to do is comment, like, or share what I'm doing here, and you'll get in. So hello, Estelle, and hello, Nicole. How are you? And Eileen is saying congratulations. Appreciate that, Eileen. So one of the quick things that I want to tell you about this catalog is that I have an event coming up called the January Jamboree. You may have seen it in my newsletter. And we're actually working on this catalog, showing a bunch of stuff. And we're also giving a little sneak peek of some stuff in here too. That is happening on January the 5th. So, sorry, not January the 5th. Now my mind has gone a blank as to when it is. January 5th. That is the right date. And so check that out. It's on my website. Stamp with Jen. There's a link there. January Jamboree. It's right on the front page on the little tickers too, so you can see that. You know what? I think I could actually just share that. Hold on a second. Let me just share that screen for a minute. That'll make it even easier. Let's see. Okay, so here's my website. If you're going to home, there is a little thing here about gift certificates, and then the second one here is January Jamboree. You can click on that and you'll see a bunch of stuff about it. Okay, so let me stop sharing and come back to the crafting part here. Okay, and I'll just take that little ticker off, and here we go. Looking forward to it, Eileen says. I joined the January Jamboree, says Nicole. Awesome. Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to you too, Nancy. She got her catalog yesterday. Yes, if you don't have this, please let me know. This should come as a package in the mail. I just got my copy. I always send a copy to myself too. I mean, I do get it early as a demonstrator, but I also send me a copy the same way I mail to you guys so that I know roughly when they're arriving. And I got mine yesterday too. So, okay, yesterday or the day before. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Are you guys feeling that yet? Okay, so I'm going to start right off the top by showing you something from the Sale-a-bration catalog. I can't open it up, but I can show your product. And this here is something called Softly Sophisticated. It comes with a stamp set and an embossing folder. And embossing folder is very pretty. And it is a Sale-a-bration item, and it is at the 2nd level. So in Canada, that means at 100, once you purchase $120 with stuff, you can pick this as a free gift on top of your order. So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to emboss, and I don't always show that, but today I thought I would because sometimes you need to see it. So let me just pull my machine in here. Hold on. No, that doesn't want to come on the paper. Let's just get rid of the paper too. Okay, Okay, so here is my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I am starting with plate 1 and nothing else. And then I'm going to have this plate 4, and that's what you need for these 3D embossing folders. So I'm going to grab that paper, and I'm going to stick it in here. And I like using the line on the folders to line it up. It doesn't matter for some of the folders, but this one does have a bit of a pattern that I want to make sure it looks straight. So I've got it like that in the folder. I'm going to stick that in here and stick the plate number 4 on top, and into the machine it goes like this. And I'll check your comments out there in a second. Okay, just move this out of the way. The plates. And here is the embossed cardstock. How pretty is that? It's called Softly Sophisticated. It's so pretty. So that's that one. I'm going to pull my paper back in. I'm in for the January Jamboree, and Mark says she's in as well. And hello to Vicky. How are you? Okay, so I've got my embossed piece of cardstock. I'm going to take my stamp set, and I've got a little piece of cardstock here. This is, I believe it's 4 by 2.5, but let me just double check and I can tell you for sure. 4, yep, 2.5. Okay, so 4 by 2.5 of basic white. And my ruler doesn't want to go back. Sorry for all the banging, crash, boom, bang. And I've got a couple colors here. So I'm going to start with soft sea foam. And there are a couple flowers in this stamp set. There's this branch, which goes with this flower, and this branch which goes with this flower. And then there's a couple sayings too, which are kind of nice. It's pretty nice for a free stamp set. So I'm going to start with the soft sea foam, and I'm going to stamp a couple of these. I'll hold this up in a second so you can see. Couple sort of high and some sort of low. I meant to do 4. Let me just turn it over because I really did mean to do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Like that. Hold on, I need a sip of water, and I have a sweater on, which I felt like I needed today. And now all of a sudden I'm hot, which is a normal thing for me, hot and cold. Please tell me I'm not the only one. All right, so I have here a bubble bath ink, and I recently re-inked it. So it's quite juicy. So I'm just going to check it here. Yeah, it's still pretty juicy. So I'm going to stamp it off. And I'm going to stamp this first one here, and then I'm going to show you how I lined it up. So, sorry, I've got a tickle all of a sudden. So this piece here and this one here line up in there, and then that one, and then there's another one here. I don't have it perfectly lined up, but it still looks fine. So I positioned the stamp on the block so that the top piece was at the top. So that helps make it a little bit easier. And I find if I line up that top one and maybe that bottom one, that I get it mostly okay. And because it's photopolymer, it isn't 100% hard. It is not 100% hard to see. It's actually pretty easy to see. I didn't stamp that one off, but it's okay. My pad's getting lighter. I put too much ink in it when I inked it. But it's still very pretty. I apologize for the coughing. I realize I don't talk a lot during the day unless I have a phone call with somebody. And then when I come to talk to you guys, my voice seems rusty. Now I'm using garden green. And I'm going to stamp in between these ones. I'll stamp one that's quite high and then another one that's lower. Okay, and then I'm going to use Berry Burst. I love these colors together, Bubble Bath, and I'm just going to close this up so I don't stick my hands in it. And I'm going to take this in. This is going to be easier to see this time. So let me do this one. So again, I'm going to line up that top one and the bottom left and the bottom right, and that seems to work. So there we go. How pretty is that? So those lighter ones are sort of in the background of this. And then this one. There we go. So pretty. I need a cough drop. Excuse me. I better not be the start of anything. Who wants to be sick for Christmas? Nobody. I'm using a blending brush and the soft seafoam ink. And I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to add some color, make it kind of like a meadow, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to grab another blending brush. Now, because I'm going from a light to dark color, I could actually use the same brush. But because I knew I was going to do it for you guys today, I wanted to have a fresh brush to dip in there. And I'm just going to go just on the edges with the garden green. Just so it's not completely shaded in, but I've got just a little bit of nice color there. Isn't that pretty? I think I want a little bit more soft seafoam in there. So this is that other brush. Like that. How pretty is that? It's so simple and easy to do. Okay, so I'm just moving all my ink pads over and closing them up. Just in case you haven't seen me close them, you pull like this and they flip and snap. It's like a compact. They're great ink pads, Stampin' Up's ink pads. Okay, so I've got that piece and I've got a piece of Berry Burst to make it all match. So this is just 1/4 inch bigger. Oh, I've already got a little fingerprint on there. Isn't that nice? I'll give you guys the better one for the draw next week. Now this tape is almost out, so we will replace it if we need to. You can tell because it starts to get to that red little dot, which you probably can't see right now. It's like a red strip. This is going to go on here. And we've got a bubble bath piece of cardstock for the card base. This is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, or basically half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. This piece is going to go on here. And I've got this pretty bubble bath ribbon. This ribbon is in the annual catalog, and there's 3 rolls. I have them right here, so let me just grab them. So you get Azure Afternoon, Lemon Lolly, and this bubble bath. And the ribbons have, I'm hoping I can show that, a little silver thread that goes through them, and it's really pretty. Nice soft ribbon. And I'm going to just put some tape here. This is really close to running out, so you can see that red piece there. Oh, and there's a piece of cat hair. Or dog hair. I don't know if you saw my Facebook post, but my cat was immediately into my cards as soon as I was getting them all ready. My Christmas cards, which were very late this year. But they're on their way. They're in the mail, so hopefully you'll get them soonish. I'm going to put one more piece in the middle here. Okay, make sure the card is opening the right way. I had a couple Christmas cards I had to switch around because I did them fast and I had them the wrong way. Okay, and then this is going to go on here. And you know what? Before I go any further, I'm going to stamp the greeting. Now, because I've embossed all of this, I can't really stamp on it or it'll look messy. But when I'm cutting these layers, this 5 1/4 by 4, I always end up with strips of paper. And so I keep them because they're great for stuff like this. So I'm going to bring back my Berry Burst. And I'm going to grab a greeting from the set. And just make sure that I can still see this in camera. Hello there. So that's good. If I messed it up, I could stamp another one. That looks pretty good. And the only reason I want to stamp that before I go ahead here is that I find that reds and purples, they just need an extra second to dry. So I just wanted to give that a minute to dry. So I'll show you how we're going to put that on there in a second. Now I'm not putting any dimensionals in the very middle because that's where my strip of ribbon is going to go. And I know I'm missing your comments, but I will check them out there in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to put this a little bit to the left. Like so. I'm going to add a little bit more ribbon just by, make sure it's going the right way. Shoving that in there. And I will hold this up as well. You could tie a bow if you want to, but I'm just going to tie a knot. Nice tight knot. And I've got my ribbon scissors here, which are just scissors I keep specifically for ribbon. I have a little tag on them. Okay, and then I'm going to add the hello there, right on there. So it's almost like it's part of that paper, but didn't have to stamp on it. So let me grab my other scissors here on my desk because I was making something else today. And I'm just going to trim that. That's got a little tiny bend in it. I'll just cut that off. I'm just going to trim it on a little angle. You can make a little flag in there if you want. Just a little angle. Tuck that right up there. Oh, I wanted to leave a little bit more on there, but that's okay. I'll just use a smaller jewel. So let me show you this so far. How pretty is that? Nice little card to say hello to somebody, or to, you could change that to a birthday saying or something. And I've got some gems, which I don't have pulled out. Here they are. These are, if I had to pick one gem, one or two gems that I absolutely must have, this would be in the category of them. This is the Iridescent Rhinestones Basic Jewels. They're just really pretty, shimmery, and they have almost a pinky hue to them. So I quite like them for cards that have pink or purples on them. Just going to stick that one gem right there. The other rhinestones, the other embellishments I'd say would be just the plain rhinestones. You had to pick one thing. So, okay, so let me hold this up and then I'll show you my original, which is pretty much the same, minus the little boo-boo up in the corner. Okay, let's see here. So here's the original one that I made. So this one's got a little bit bigger here and a bigger rhinestone, and I've just varied the heights a little bit differently on the flowers, but still the same. Nicole says, so pretty, love the colors and the flowers. Yeah, I love those colors together. Nicole says, I see the green on your matte paper and don't know what it's called. How long does that take to dry? Is it possible we'll get on the card or anything else? This here, it's, I may have green on my fingers. It's where I rubbed on here with the blending brush. And because this is what's called a classic ink, so these are classic ink pads, same with the green, they're water-based ink pads, and so they dry almost immediately. So like I said, I do find that anything red or purple takes a second longer to dry, so I always like to give it a minute before I sort of flip it over and start touching it. That's a great question. And yeah, so it's immediately dry. And so if I was doing a lot of white things on here, I might be worried about transfer. But for the most part, not so much. And if I was doing a lot of blending, I might do it up in the corner. Of course, I want to keep this centered so that you guys can see. The other thing is, again, if I was doing a lot, I probably would flip this paper over. But for the most part, you can see here, I've got it on here and there's no transfer at all. So great question. Robin says she caught alive. Yay. Eileen says pretty. Robin says pretty. And Robin's catching alive. Yay. She's on vacation. Woohoo. Vacation time. Hello from Donna. And Eileen says, wow. Fantastic, guys. And lots of people saying Merry Christmas. I love that. Mark says she loves those colors. Yeah, they're so pretty together. Just beautiful. So that, again, is Softly Sophisticated. It comes as a duo, and it's in that little Sale-a-bration catalog. So those of you who have it already, you can check that out. I can't open the book, but I'm going to open it off to the side here, and I'll tell you what page it's on. It's on page 14. Okay? It's almost in the middle of the book. That's where that one is. Okay, so this is my last slide before Christmas. And as I said last week, I'm still going to go live next week because it's not going to be on a holiday per se. And I'm thinking that some people might be around and be home. So I am going to go live next week as well. And I will see you all then. In the meantime, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. And I will see you all soon. Take care. Be kind to yourself. And I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.